parlons de Bénin émergent, notre rêve est que notre pays devienne véritablement un hub régional de négoce et de services à forte valeur ajoutée pour un Bénin qui gagne, un Bénin qui court plus vite que les autres, un Bénin véritablement stable et prospère. Que Dieu vous bénisse, que Dieu bénisse notre nation.
In a dynamic of social change and to accelerate the country's economic emergence, Benin has launched under the initiative of President Thomas Boni Yayi an ambitious growth and poverty reduction strategy. The programme aims to develop Benin along the key sectors fueling the country's growth, translating into a competitive economy. In this context, Benin is seeking to attract investors and development partners. The country's 5.6 GDP growth rate in 2013 was still insufficient to reduce poverty. However, a moderate inflation rate, decreasing budget deficits and a national debt equal to only 29.8% of the GDP makes Benin a reliable, stable and promising nation. The vision of the authorities is clearly stated: to turn Benin into an emergent economy and into a country that will be the centerpiece of West Africa by 2025. As a favored entry point to the WEMU and the ECOWAS, two large community markets of over 300 million consumers, Benin offers investors from the world over a prime trading position.
Regardez un peu la carte du Bénin. C'est comme une clé avec sa tête qui ouvre la porte aux 300 millions de consommateurs de la sous-région. Et en plus, nous sommes situés à côté d'un grand géant, un grand marché de plus de 170 millions de consommateurs, qui est le Nigeria.
The Port Authority of Cotonou is a natural corridor that connects the WEMU countries to the large Nigerian market and functions as the maritime entry point to landlocked countries such as Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali and Chad. In 2011, 51% of the goods handled by the Cotonou port were intended for transit, with more than half of these goods going to Niger. In 2013, the port handled 7.8 million tons of goods, a 5.4% increase in traffic. In order to equip the country with adequate economic infrastructures to support production and private investments, the government has launched an ambitious investment program that will turn Benin into a multimodal platform of added value services in the fields of transport, energy, tourism, hydro-agricultural infrastructure and health. The building of a new deep-water multi-use port 20 kilometers from Cotonou is essential to alleviate the congestion of the Cotonou port. This will allow for the export of mined minerals, the import and export of hydrocarbons, further developing container handling capacity, and the trade of dry products.
Un port, c'est toujours un avantage. Un pays qui a un littoral et qui a un port qui est bien structuré, c'est un avantage compétitif.
The revitalization of the rail network and the building of a railway line connecting Cotonou to Niamey aim to develop the sub-region's mining and agricultural sectors. These projects form part of a broader regional strategy known as the Railway Loop. This loop will in the long term connect Abidjan via Ouagadougou to Niamey and will extend all the way down towards the coast to reach Cotonou. One of the government of Benin's key projects is the construction of a new international airport equipped with a 4,250-metre-long runway. It will be able to accommodate new large aircrafts such as the Airbus A380. The goal? To become a regional hub able to accommodate up to 1.3 million passengers and to handle 12,000 tons of freight per annum. Access to electricity plays a strategic part in economic growth and poverty reduction. The state has the ambition to reach an electric power capacity of approximately 1,000 megawatts by 2020. Today, the government seeks funding for the implementation of hydroelectric dams, the rehabilitation and the development of the electrical supply networks, rural electrification and green energy production. The recent discovery of oil reserves off the coast of Seme is a new asset. The latest mineral prospection programs have identified areas with strong potential reserves in precious ores. These include iron, gold, manganese and uranium. 80% of the land in Benin is arable, but only 20% is farm. In this context, the government has set up a hydro-agricultural investment plan, focusing in particular on the development of irrigation, the construction of small dams, and the development of valleys such as the Valley of Wemi, considered one of the most fertile in Africa after the Nile Valley. The textile cotton sector is the most developed sector of the country. However, the food product sector, such as rice, corn, sorghum, manioc or tropical fruit, offers a tremendous development potential that can contribute to the region's food security. Benin boasts undeniable tourism assets. Benin is the world's cradle of voodoo culture. One can also discover the Slaves Route, the Gate of No Return, or exceptional sites such as lakeside villages on stilts. The tourism sector is growing steadily and represented 2.6% of GDP in 2013. A project aimed at developing the fishing road nearby Cotonou is underway. The aim of the investment plan is to develop accommodation and tourism infrastructures along the fine sand beaches stretching between the sea and lagoons over 43 kilometers coastline. The investment also entails an ambitious program in the health sector. A public-private partnership aimed at the construction of a state-of-the-art referral hospital and radiotherapy center has been planned. Indeed, because of the lack of adequate technical platforms, Benin spends over 8 billion CFA francs each year in referrals of patients to other countries. A stability and peace haven, Benin has embarked on an ambitious political and economic reform program since the 1990 National Conference. Benin is an established model of democratic stability in West Africa. The government has initiated a series of structural reforms aiming at improving the business climate. The registration of a company within 24 hours from a single counter, simplified formalities for building permit allocations, and a renewed legal framework facilitating private-public partnerships. Benin's development and investment program aims to create sustainable employment and to fuel a growth rate of 7% by 2018. Benin is a flagship destination for investors in search of opportunities. The vision of the head of the state is to work together to make Benin the centerpiece of West Africa. Benin, our future is here, with you.